Hi guys, namaste. Thank you so much for checking in on my channel. I'm Vanessa Joanne. I'm a psychic reader, spiritual mentor, a fitness trainer and a vlogger. I really enjoy doing vlogs, and today is just a little bit about I suppose a topic that is quite present in my life at the moment and something that I'm kind of reevaluating based on my experience from my past, as well as my new internal change where I just see life so much more differently now than what I did. So as you can tell by the title, I'm talking about spirituality and taking drugs, and you know, this could go everywhere. And I think at the end of the day, I'm a big believer on you do you and I do me, and that's okay. And it doesn't mean that what I say is 100% right for you, but it's definitely just the way I see things. And I just want to make that kind of clear, because at the end of the day, like, this is just a sort of a platform where I can express my views and the way I see the world and the way I see these type of changes and these things. And I think it's really important that we talk about it and more people talk about it, especially in the spiritual community. So as you guys can tell or know, if you've looked on my channel, I'm a psychic reader, and I really enjoy doing psychic readings for my Facebook group as well as this this channel. I do new moon and full moon readings, which yeah, really can help you guys in some way help sort of heal, as well as see life a little bit more differently. What really happened was, before I got this whole really went into my spiritual journey, I did go through a kind of an interesting party phase, which I have talked a little bit about in my vlogs as well as my social media platforms. And when I went into the party phase, it's the first time I ever did drugs in my life, and I did MD as well as I've done cocaine, and yeah, that's kind of all I've done other things, but I didn't really do any of that. It was mainly just those two. And when I went into it, I was very anti-drug, very anti-drug person, and I was like, no, I'm not doing drugs, because my parents, my family really brought me up to think that drugs were really bad. Then obviously I met some people, got with a partner who sort of partied a lot, and I sort of explored that realm of drugs and alcohol. And it was definitely one of the best moments of my life in terms of I really enjoyed my life. I probably consumed a little bit too much, but I did meet some really awesome people, and I felt like I saw the world of drugs and alcohol in a much different light. I didn't see it so negatively. I didn't see it something that my parents brought me up to think, you know. I saw it as we're having fun, we're using this as just an extra thing to make us have fun. And I really did enjoy my party life. I feel like I really went into it pretty deep. I met some really awesome people, and I feel like I went into it really head first. I went straight into it, and I went into it pretty full on and fast. I didn't just waltz in. It was something that I met people straight away, and then all of a sudden I was in DJ, I was around DJs and producers and all that. I was like, whoa, I got into this pretty deeply. And as I said, it was I had really awesome time. I still don't regret that stage of my life, and I still feel like I had a really awesome time with it. And the way I went with the drugs was, I did go a little bit too deep. I feel like I didn't do it daily, but I was doing it a lot during the weekends as well as all weekends sort of thing. And you know, as much as it was horrible, not horrible, as much as I felt like it was a positive experience, it was quite negative on my body, as well as this whole mask of how I was feeling internally. And after the party phase, I met my twin flame, and then I kind of just went on this massive spiritual journey and stopped drugs and alcohol and stopped partying. And it was definitely, the last 2 years have been definitely very big, very transformational, and very big on my personal growth. But I didn't really do anything after that. And once I stepped into spirituality, I saw drugs and alcohol really negatively. I saw it as this really negative experience, something that you're just really you're masking yourself, you're wounded, you know, like a lot of judgment, a lot of shame as well, and a lot of kind of confusion on where my message and direction was going. I ended up being like the night of the life and very extroverted and very out there to being like very introverted, having really not many friends, and kind of really disconnecting myself to the people I used to hang out with, as well as the whole drugs thing. And I saw it so negatively. And, you know, it's, as I said, you can see my vlog video, I've had this big internal change where I see everything okay in moderation. Now, I'm not saying that it's okay to get high and go crazy, but I definitely feel like sometimes it's totally necessary to do that to work on your spiritual growth. Now, I'm not saying I'll ever do the stuff I used to do. I don't feel like I'm in it for that. I definitely feel like it can help you in your journey, but everything's all about intention and your conscious thinking about it. If you are in it because you're masking something, then yeah, it could turn into addiction, and it could turn into something that you're trying to run away from, which can lead to a negative path and a negative experience in the long term, especially mental health and all that stuff, and physical health. But if you're going in it from a spiritual perspective of trying to enhance your abilities, or trying to make your life, or trying to see things a little bit more clearly that maybe you can't see in physical form or just conscious form, then I feel like it can be quite beneficial. I don't see any negative effects on it. And if you're doing it once in a while, or if you're doing it like when you just want to have a good time, then I think that's okay, because at the end of the day, we're here for a physical experience. We're here to have fun and enjoy our life. And the way I've seen the spiritual community, and I've been in it like that, is that I was trapped in my room and didn't want to go anywhere, and thought that if I hung out with people who are on drugs and alcohol, then that's really negative and that's really low vibration. And partly that sort of conception on that is like, yeah, totally could be totally low vibration, because some people could go into it thinking that they're going in to mask something. They're going to escape from reality. They're going into it because they're trying to run away from their life, and they're forming some sort of addiction. And the reality of the spiritual conception on it is like, yeah, if you're addicted to something and you're, you know, putting toxins in your body all the time, and you're running away, you're not addressing any wounds, or you're not working on yourself, or you're not doing anything, then yeah, totally, your vibration can lower down, because that stuff can lower your vibration. And especially when you start drinking, you open yourself, you're like a can of worms to spirit world. Any energies can latch onto you, especially negative energies, and it can get down that track. However, if you look at it and you are spiritual and you're kind of thinking, oh, should I really want to go and party, or I really want to do drugs again, or I really want to do this, then I don't feel like it's a bad idea that you go into it with an intention of having fun, intention that you are, you know, energetically protected, and also just kind of being social and sort of knowing your boundaries as well. I think that's really important, because I feel like everyone sort of goes through it where they just literally just like let go and go crazy, and kind of just like can really harm your body in some way. And the way I see this whole drugs and alcohol thing is that I probably won't ever drink again, because I just don't like the way it makes me feel. But if you want to have a drink and you're spiritual, then you do that. Yeah, this is the thing. I feel like the spiritual community really brainwashed me in some way. And I'm not saying everyone did, and I'm not even blaming anyone. This is no, I'm not even saying any channel or nothing. But I feel like when I was seeing these, you know, individuals, when I was on my journey really strongly, I was seeing them like being role models, and I was like, wow, they never go out, or they don't socialize, they're doing work at home all the time, they're always doing readings, they're always helping people. And as much as that's so important, and I think that's such a beautiful gift, and I honestly, when I love giving people readings, I love doing that, but I feel like we're so disconnected to the physicality on it, and we're so disconnected to us actually enjoying life, that it ends up being quite boring. Yeah, and some people just like doing that, and that's cool, because some people are really introverted and they don't really want to go out, they don't want to do that, they don't want to be around people. But I feel like it's almost like this negative experience. If you did do that, then you're lower vibration or you're not spiritual enough. And that's when it gets really annoying. And that's when I'm noticing that that's not the game I want to play. That's not the life I want to look at. I don't want to look at people like that anymore. And I don't kind of want to see who's better, who's worse. That's kind of ego, right? And this is something I've just realized, and I feel, as I was saying earlier, everything's about your conscious reaction and thoughts as well as your intention behind it. And if you have an intention where you want to lash out, you want to do drugs, you're doing it because you enjoy it and you're not masking anything, you're not running away from anything, then I think that's okay. And I think as long as we don't indulge and create an addiction, which if you do as well, like, I'm just really big on like people do their own thing and I do my own thing. But if you are sort of thinking I'm spiritual, but I really do want to do that and I'm a bit scared of the judgment, or I think that dark spirit's going to come towards me, my biggest tip for that is make sure you protect yourself before you do that. And as much as it sounds very spiritual in some way, but it is important that you do protect yourself. If you're going to have a night out, I believe, do what you want to do, of course, but I truly believe protecting your energy is really important, as well as setting intention, making sure that you're not pushing boundaries like maybe you used to, or going to a point where you're freaking intoxicated and it's just like you've got no control in your life. If you do that, that's you, that's fine. But the way I see the spirituality side of doing drugs and alcohol and going out and partying is that through intention, through your conscious thinking and reactions, and also not pushing boundaries, not getting completely white girl wasted, like going extremist. I think that's where, that I want to escape, or I just want to keep pushing on, or I just want to keep doing this. I feel like that can get a little messy. But I mean, hey, if you want to do that, that's fine. Or if you want to just like go with the flow, do that as well. But I just really believe in my core that it's just really important that we do just be conscious of ourselves, because that's what spirituality is. Spiritual is yourself. Spiritual is looking after yourself, nourishing yourself, addressing wounds, working on yourself, healing, all this stuff. That's spirituality. And everyone's spirituality journey and spirituality in general is all different. We're all not the same. We all don't live the same journey. We're all in different things. And some people really enjoy being at home and really just like sitting at home and doing nothing. Others, their spirituality is dancing to the music, getting downloads while you're dancing, protecting yourself, being social, loving life. I feel like whatever direction you choose your spirituality is fine, but I feel like it's okay also if you want to indulge sometimes. I feel like it's okay if you want to just do drugs, and it's okay. It doesn't make you less spiritual. It doesn't make you less of a person, or that you're just, you're just doing bad, because I just feel like that's what's being really amplified in the spiritual community. And it's kind of like the ones who, really voice their spiritual growth and all this stuff, they kind of put down the person they used to be. They say like, I was in this bad drugs and alcohol and this really bad and it was really shit and, that was bad. And I just don't feel like that was the intention. I mean, obviously if you feel that, of course, but the way I see it is that you were just masking the hurt, and now you're not masking your hurt, you're now addressing the hurt. So if you want to go down that, then yeah, you could potentially go back to addictions again. But if you're consciously awakened, if you're consciously aware of your wounds and your energy, then I feel like it's okay to do that again. I just feel like you've got to pick and choose when you're spiritual and, when you want to do drugs and stuff. I feel like it's all interconnected. As I said, it's all intention and conscious thinking. If your intention and your conscious thinking is on point, then for one, your universe will deliver for you. They'll attract good people in your life. You'll enjoy yourself and you'll actually enjoy this human experience that we're in. But if you're going in and you're masking, or you're even fearing that if you do that again, you'll go back to the addictions. For one, if you do that, address why. why are you scared? And what wound came up when you did that? And that's when you heal from that wound, I'm sure that you'll be able to overcome that and actually be able to enjoy your life. Now, as I said, you don't need to have drugs and alcohol to have fun in life, but I feel like we don't need to also divide the two. We don't need to choose which one. We can do both, and we can still be just as spiritual as long as we're keeping in good intention, and also we're not indulging dramatically. But hey, if you do that, you do you. That's totally fine. I just feel like with my views on spiritual and drugs is that they can be interconnected, and it can be a really powerful and quite a really good experience for yourself as well. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this talk. Hopefully I haven't offended anyone. I always get worried when I talk about stuff like this online, because I feel like people can get really offended or like have their two boards with. And I mean, hey, that's fine. I'm open to an open conversation. I just don't really like negative comments, that's all. I just delete that if that happens. But I think this is just my way. This is my growth in all this, because I did choose. I thought that was bad and this was good. But actually, it wouldn't be bad if I did it again, because I'm aware of the wound. I'm not masking myself anymore. I'm not masking any hurt. I'm open. I'm good. I'm ready to social. I'm ready to experience life. And if I can use something that it can enhance it, why not? Like, why are we choosing? So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe to my channel if it resonates with you. I do post a whole range of stuff, so definitely check that out. But regardless, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Namaste.